family program.
Naomi Rich was there among the crowd today for the big send-off.
The long-awaited journey to Columbus began just before 1 this afternoon. The Girard basketball team is hoping to make history. 450 students wished them well at a pep rally in the high school auditorium this morning. A state championship would be the first in school history.
The kids are taking 7 busloads every regional game. We're probably taking between 10 and 14 down to the state, and they're definitely behind our team.
Girard's been to the state tournament only once before, but lost. That was 40 years ago, 1953.
I think it's a big event that you can't describe what happens to a community. It just seems to bring everything together, and it's a memory that sticks with you for a long time.
The excitement has spilled into the community, population 12,000. Well-wishers have posted signs on the city streets. Local businesses are showing their support. Dolly Meckes works for the Chamber of Commerce, a 1951 graduate of Girard. She's never seen the community this excited.
This is just kind of like Hoosiers. I mean, it's these boys have worked so hard, and they really deserve it. And win or lose, it's a great honor and a big thrill.
Girard Hardware has been in business on Liberty Street for more than 100 years. Joseph Burek rarely misses a game. He says the basketball team can only help this blue-collar and one-time steel town.
We need something like this to really keep our community rolling. A lot of places, we got a few empty stores, we like to get them filled up. And I think this team is going to do it.
In Girard, Naomi Rich, 33 Eyewitness News.
But St. Rose will be open and there will be bus service.
And coming up tonight, what's being called
and look at Girard's bid to add a bigger trophy to its collection.
And big send-off today.
Yes.
Girard.
And when you send off a team, that means something, that there's no school tomorrow.
Because everyone wants to go.
That's right.
Well, we do want to point out, though, in Girard, that St. Rose School will be open tomorrow and will have bus service. It's the other schools that are trying to get close basketball championship.
And the reason they're closed is because the Indians are getting set for their big game tomorrow. And in less than 24 hours, the Girard Indians will be looking to take one step closer to the state championship game. Today, the Indians left for Columbus, but not before a rousing pep rally, which included city officials. The 20-6 Indians will play at 2 p.m. tomorrow against Kettering Alter, who's 19-6 at St. John's Arena in Columbus. It's the first state tournament appearance for Girard in more than 40 years, and all the excitement is starting to build, and it's time for the nerves to settle in.
45 and get some peace. We'll be at Otterbein College tonight from 6 to 8, and we have a film session about 9 o'clock, and that'll probably be our best preparation time. And then we'll eat breakfast, go to the first game, and stay there and get ready for the 2 o'clock game. But I'll be real happy to get out of Girard just for peace and quiet and to get some coaching in.
Meantime, the Camel Red Devils will leave for Columbus.
First team selection and a Coach of the Year on the Division II All-State basketball team. LeBray's Chad Allen is the only local player to make the first, second, or third teams. South High's George Burrich shares the state Coach of the Year honors with 3 others. One of Burrich's players, Brian Kimbrough, was one of 3 local performers to get special mention. The others are Canfield's Dave Burkett and Jim Fox of Struthers. 2 other area players get All-State honorable mention. They are Herman Carr of South and champions Chris Vilwalk. Well, you'll note that there aren't any players from Girard on that list. That hasn't stopped them from making it to the state tournament, though.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was fun in January, and right now it's ecstatic.
Well, that's pretty much the feeling this week for those in and around the Girard basketball program. The 20-6 Indians are in the Division II Final Four. It's the second such appearance for the school and the 12th time a Trumbull County team has advanced to that level.
Having some problems with the video there. We'll see if we can get that corrected and maybe wind up showing that to you at 11 o'clock. Meanwhile, 5 area teams are in action in the Pennsylvania play.
Girard package and more.
First state crown in 40 years. The Indians are off to Columbus. They will battle Kettering Alter at St. John's Arena tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. They face the possibility of playing without one of their stars. Brad Ruth, though, did practice with his teammates in Columbus tonight. That's the first time this week he's worked out. He spent Monday in the hospital with either the flu or food poisoning. Coach Bob Krasanzi calls Ruth his best defensive player. If this were any other game at the state semifinals, he probably wouldn't play. But since this is a once-in-a-lifetime shot,
Coach wants me to play as much as I can, and I'm going to go out and try my hardest. I'm not going back down. I mean, just because I'm sick, I mean, I'll play my hardest, and when I'm like feeling any sickness or I think I might hurt the team, I'll take myself out.
Bowls tonight in
We're one of 4 teams left in Division II, and in about 17 hours, it's going to be down to 2 teams, and the Tribe hopes they're one of them. This afternoon, the Indians left for the state capitol following a rousing pep rally. It's the Indians' first state tournament appearance in more than 40 years. Coach Bob Krasancic hopes the club won't be bothered by playing in front of a sold-out arena.
Being in front of that many people. We played in front of 4,000 the other night. That's the biggest crowd all year. But there's nothing like playing, I think, in St. John's. And I really think with people like Chris Kelly and the leadership that we have, that it's not going to affect us as much as people might think.
Well, the Camel Red Devils
take out a team from the Dayton area today. Steve Fortunato has a complete report and post-game comments next in Big Board Sports.
The Hoosiers look to advance in the NCAA tournament.
And our own Girard Valley Indians are on fire after their advance to the state finals in Columbus. Dana Bollish has the sports next.
Afternoon against Kettering-Alter, the Indians made the most of their opportunity. 21's Mike Ackelson was in Columbus and has this report.
The Knights jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Chad Snyder inside for the bucket. And after a sluggish start, Girard's Brad Root hits for 3. And Phil Heiler would end the first with the tray. The Indians lead 10-9. Second classic passing drill by Heiler to Root. Back to Heiler. He scores the layup plus the foul. He had 10 points in the second quarter. But a 10-3 spurt by Alder closed the first half. Jerry Rosinski with the finger roll. The two teams deadlocked at 26 at the intermission. Third, a 16-2 spurt blew the game open for Girard. Heiler inside with 2 of his 22 points. Then Keith Swan drills the 3. He had 15. And Arashan Clardy comes up with the steal and the layup. After 3, the Indians lead 49-35. Fourth, Heiler to DeRamo for the lay-in. Girard leads by 19. The Indians got a little sloppy, and Jason Beckman hits for 3 of his game-high 24. The Knights closed the lead to 7, but the Indians would drain their foul shots as they win 77-68.
We put Phillip in the post because we knew they were going to have to sag off one of the wings of the point, and they did. And I put Swan and Root in those 2 positions, and I said, one of you 2 have to be open, or Heiler gets it one-on-one.
At halftime, he told us we have to up-tempo the game. Maybe we have to make it into the 60s, that type of game. We have to run up and down. If not, we might not be successful. So when I came in, I made sure that we had that transition game, and we made easy baskets.
I was impressed with their quickness. They were able to penetrate and beat us down court. That was basically the ball game.
From St. John's Arena, Mike Ackelson, 21 Action Sports.
So there it is, the Indians over Kettering-Alter 77-68. The Indians now at 21-6. Kettering-Alter falls at 19-4, and the Indians will play Whitehall, who defeated St. Mary's 52-38.
I'm just very proud of this team. This team's done so much, and they gave it their all, and I'm giving it my all.
And so the Cinderella story is almost complete. Girard, not even picked to get out of the sectionals, is now only 1 win away from molding that glass slipper into a perfect fit. In Columbus, Steve Fortunato, 33. Eyewitness Sports.
Indians have won 16 of their last 18, 77-68 again. They will meet Whitehall Yearling in the final. They win 52-38. Let's set the championship up for you. Division II title game will be Saturday morning, 11 a.m. St. John Arena. That's a good club they're playing. They've won 25-26, but the Indians on a roll, and we will be there, as well as the Camel game tomorrow night. Now, a major upset tonight in Krasancic will have a bed check tonight. We'll tell you what Girard's doing today and their thoughts about the title game next in Big Board Sports.
We have 2 Valley High School teams vying for state championships.
1 down, 1 to go in Camel. Anyone in Camel tonight?
No one's in Camel.
No one's in Camel.
No one's in Girard.
Anyway, the Red Devils are making their first. Girard Indians are resting today, preparing for tomorrow's state final game against Whitehall Yearling at 11 a.m. The Indians are coming off one of their finest outings of the year, downing Kettering-Alter yesterday 77-68, and they're expecting a run-and-gun game tomorrow against the Rams.
And I always told our kids, if the score's in the 40s or 50s, I don't think we can win the basketball game. But we've been very successful as far as transition. And I think it's going to be easier getting into our game against Whitehall than against Alter. Now, how successful we are, I'm not sure. But I think it'll be a little more of an up-tempo game.
And tournament action also continues in Pennsylvania.
Now, that doesn't matter. It's all Camel in the first quarter. It's 32 minutes away from their first state crown. They go back to work tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. in the finals against Whitehall Yearling. The Indians exploded for 51 second-half points to pull away from Kettering Alter yesterday. Girard is brimming with confidence. This year's team believes the state title belongs to them.
I didn't think we were going to get out of sectionals, but, I mean, we just worked really hard, and I'm just very proud of this team. This team's done so much, and they gave it their all, and I'm giving it my all, and I know we're going to win this game.
It's a great feeling, and I know that we can do it because we have a very talented ball team, and I think if we continue to execute, I think we could win.
On to college basketball.
Get to the big game.
Good evening. For the first time in history, a Trumbull County school has won the state boys basketball championship.
Girard claimed its first title this morning in Columbus. Steve is here with this Cinderella story.
Oh,
Steve?
what a Cinderella story it is, isn't it? Earlier this week, somebody from the Girard Chamber of Commerce told me this experience has been like the movie Hoosiers, the Girard basketball team, just like the town, an underdog. And who doesn't love an underdog? Every game the Indians played in the state tournament, they weren't expected to win. This afternoon at St. John Arena in Columbus, they beat Whitehall Yearling 64-57. Philip Heiler, number 12, put out another show, scoring 34 points. When it was over, it was bedlam. An emotional moment for Girard head coach Bob Kurzanzik with his son and the Indians' good luck charm, 10-month-old Cole. It was also an emotional time for Philip Heiler's dad, who this weekend came in from his homeland, the Bahamas, to watch his son play high school basketball for the first time.
He just said, Dad, we're going to win. I'm going to make you proud of me. And I came in here today, and I couldn't stop shaking. I was, all through the game, I was shaking like a leaf. But I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of what he did today.
Philip Heiler really did take over. Bob Hannon, down south, sending back a lot more on satellite. We'll have it for you in sports.
Okay, look forward to it. In other news now, still making...
Are tasting sweet victory this evening, a big victory, as a matter of fact, in Columbus this afternoon, as the Indians capture the boy basketball Division II state championship. Joining me is Dana Balish to give us some of the highlights of this game that they went in underdogs and came out victors.
Yeah, the strange thing about it was Girard had the third best record out of all four teams there, and the pressure was on not them, but the other team, and just a great game for them. And, it's something you dream about all year when you're in high school. And the Indians, it doesn't get any sweeter than this. Many didn't know if the Indians would even get out of the district, yet alone get to the regionals. But a state title was the goal of this team, and today their dream came true. The Indians weren't going to let their opportunity slip by. Led by Philip Heiler's 34 points, the Indians brought home their first ever state championship, downing Columbus Whitehall 64-57. Heiler would hit 5 free throws in the final 48 seconds to put the game out of reach. Now it's the first ever boys state title for Trumbull County. The Indians close out their campaign with a 22-6 record, while Whitehall, who is ranked 4th in the state, suffers its second loss. Once again, the Girard Indians a 64-57 winner and the Division II state champions. Now, as you can imagine, the city of Girard is in a buzz as fans are eagerly awaiting the arrival of their latest heroes. 21 Sports Director Pat Saunders is among them and joins us now. Pat?
Danny, you're right. I think the city of Girard is going to erupt here within the hour as they're waiting for the basketball team to come home. Reports have it they're on 76. There's crowds down at the corner of Liberty and 422, and there's a big crowd gathering here at the high school. Joining me now is Assistant Principal Ron Ragazzi. And Ron, you were one of those road warriors that made the trip down to Columbus, 3 or 4 day stay. It was a nice little weekend for you, wasn't it?
Tremendous. I'm just ecstatic for all the coaches, for the kids. I mean, they deserve everything they got. They put their whole heart, soul, and everything that they did down there in Columbus. And if anybody deserved to win it, they did. I mean, they've had a long, hard road.
Entering the districts, I mean, they were an underdog. I mean, they weren't even seated in the district. They get to the regional. They didn't get any respect in the regional. How does a team do this?
Our boys and our coaches have worked tremendously together. They just had to pull it together, get in shape, and they did it. And once they got on that roll, there was nothing that was going to stop them.
What does this mean to the high school? And to you, you're assistant principal. You've been here for a few years. I mean, this is a big thrill for not just the citizens of Girard, but everyone that ever went to Girard High School.
Right. I think that Mr. Cochran, the principal, Mr. D'Ambrosio, the city of Girard, the mayor, this is, I don't think you can, there's no words to describe it. You know what I mean? It was 40 years ago that they went down to state and lost in the semifinals. We're the first school in Trumbull County to come back with a state title, ever. So, I mean, you know, this city is going to be going crazy for a while, a long while, I think.
This is a good place to be tonight, isn't it?
Oh, tremendous. I mean, it's starting to gather here. It's lined up. There are signs all over downtown Girard. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be totally crazy.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You know, walking around here, you see adults with tears in their eyes, students crying. It's a big night in Girard, and not just Girard, but the entire valley. And Dana, as soon as the team gets back here, we'll break in. If it's within the hour, we'll break in as soon as the team arrives here, and I'll be back up in sports. Dana, back to you.
Thanks, Pat. And an exciting day for Girard, and it's just amazing. You know, as Pat mentioned, and the assistant principal, they were the underdogs, and it just proves that if you set out to achieve a goal, you can do it. And congratulations to Girard. They're on their way back. They should be arriving hopefully within the hour. And as Pat mentioned, we'll bring it to you live. And also we'll have a complete report on the game. Mike Ackelson was in Columbus. He'll have all that in sports coming up shortly.
Oh, gosh, it's so exciting. So much to look forward to tonight. All right, thank you very much, Dana. All right, well, over in the Shenandoah.
Champion, one down, hopefully one more to go. We're going to take you down to Columbus, show you all the highlights, and hear from the winners. That's on Big Board Sports, coming your way next.
Smart Drive. Smart Drive? Yeah, $2.99 a month for 36.
Just announced a 500. Now, Eyewitness News, your 24-hour news source continues with Steve Fortunato and Big Board Sports.
Nobody thought it would happen, but it has. The Girard Indians are state champs, beating Whitehall Yearling this afternoon in Columbus. Bob Hannon was there for the historic victory.
12 young men from Girard experienced today what every young man that dribbles a basketball dreams of, playing in a state championship before 13,000 fans at St. John's Arena. Chris Kelly, the hot hand early. They challenged him to hit the outside jumper. He nailed 2 early trays. Indians grabbed an 11-6 lead. 6'9" big man Samaki Walker, though, came back with an X5. Rams knotted the score at 11. Philip Heiler, 2 quick buckets near the end of the quarter. Indians lead after one, 18-13. Rams took control with a 10-2 run to start the second quarter. Walker, tough to contain inside, also stepped outside and nailed the jumper. 16 first-half points put Whitehall in front, 23-20. The Indians would then score 8 of the next 10. Philip Heiler with the defense and quick hands, back on top, 27-25. Then Chris Kelly with the theft over Walker, Girard up by 4. But just before halftime, Charles Alston gets free backdoor. Rams lead the Indians at halftime, 31-29. 1 minute into the third quarter, Walker picked up his third foul. He went to the bench, and Girard took advantage. Kelly nails the jumper, and then Heiler found Nick DeRamo along the baseline. 2 minutes left in the third quarter, Girard up 43-39. Back came in Walker with this thunderous dunk. Game tied at 46 after 3. And then 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, again Walker. Points 23 and 24, but they would be his final tallies of the day. Whitehall led 54-50. Heiler would score the next 5 points on his way to a 34-point afternoon. Girard in front to stay 55-54. Then the defensive play of the game. Chris Kelly put it on the line with the steal. Girard gets the ball and opens up the court. They keep it for 2 minutes before Brad Root gets open backdoor. Indians lead 57-54 with a minute to play. Again, solid defense inside for Girard. Nick DeRamo on the steal. Rams forced a foul. Heiler hits 5 of 6 free throws to thwart any comeback of a rally by Whitehall. The Indians win it 64-57 for their first state championship ever, and the tears of joy began to flow. Girard is taking that trophy back to the Mahoning Valley because of their defense. True, Philip Heiler scored 34 points today, but in the second half, Walker only scored 8 after 16 in the opening half, and down the stretch, the Girard
all season, and he's carried us right to here.
Can you put it in words what it feels like to be a state champion? From 1-3 to walking into St. John Arena?
I can't put a word on it at all. It's just, you just have to do it to, you know, to know what it's like. It's just unbelievable.
I was sitting over here and your father was right behind me. What did it mean to you to have your father here?
Oh, it's the greatest feeling ever. It started as the game was over. I just put my hand up to him, and that was for him and my mom and the rest of the family back home.
Today, see their state title of the day. Not bad for a conference that won't be around after next year. In Columbus, Bob Hannon, 33, Eyewitness Sports.
Again, 64-57 is the final. Philip Heiler is the tournament MVP. In the 2 games, he had 56 points and 13 rebounds. He's joined on the first team by Chris Kelly. As Bob mentioned tonight, Camel goes for its first ever state championship in history. Two basketball teams from the Mahoning Valley have won state titles in the same season. The Red Devils are the hottest team in the state. 5 of their 6 postseason wins have been blowouts, including the state semifinals last night. Michael Farrington and Kevin Dill put on a slam dunk show in the first half. After one quarter, the Red Devils led Cincinnati McNichols. They were up by as many as 32 points in the second half and won by 23, 69-40. Widest margin of victory in Division III state tournament history. Campbell will play 25-1 Belpre for the state title tonight at 9 o'clock.
We're just going to have to keep on pounding down into Farrington. He's just playing great ball right now. He's just dominating. He's like a man amongst boys right now.
All the hard work we put in over the summer, like those summer camps, we had team camps, and, working hard in the weight room and doing things. Make the part right now. Into part right now.
We came down here looking to play 2 games. They've worked so hard for so long. Don't come down here and just say, oh boy, it's great, let's have a good time. They're here for business.
I don't want to leave here runners up. I don't want to have that in my mind, the next 30, 40 years. I want to go out there, I want to win it. I can tell everyone,
The jam for 2 of his 24 points. After 3, the 2 teams deadlocked at 46. In the 4th, Walker would hit the turnaround. The Rams are up 4, 54-50. Then after Girard timeout, a 9-0 run. Phil Heiler inside for 2 of his game-high 34 of play. Then just a great defensive play by Chris Kelly. Somehow they come up with the steal. Then the Indians would seal their fate with a Brad Root layup. He was wide open for this shot. For the contest, the Indians would shoot 53% from the floor, 68% from the foul line. And as far as Girard's concerned, their state tournament wraps up with a storybook ending as the good luck charm comes through again.
When we came out, we were very confident. We thought we could win. And most of all, we were really together. And that was, I think, brought us on top today.
It's unbelievable, really.
Has it sunk in yet?
No, it has. It did when there were 7 seconds left, and Phil was shooting foul shots. I just started crying out there at half court. State champs, big fat ring. Gonna put it on there, go get fitted for it, and it's just show it off. This is what everyone dreams about, is being here. And I had dreams many nights about this, and this is just the greatest feeling in the world.
The mental maturity was phenomenal. Emotionally, the kids never celebrated too much after a big win, and we've had a lot. And they've handled everything as men. And I think that's probably the key. We won with men and not boys.
From Columbus, Mike Ackelson, 21 Action Sports.
So once again, congratulations to Girard, the Division II state champions, 22-6 on the year. Whitehall falls to 25-2, and a great game. And once again, congratulations to Girard. 21 Sports Director Pat Saunders is still among the hundreds that have lined the streets of downtown Girard, where the excitement is building. Pat?
Dana, as you can tell, the buses with the students unloaded here about 15 minutes ago, and I'm surrounded by a group calling themselves the Skinheads. These guys shave their heads, what, Wednesday night, you guys said?
Yeah.
What drove you to shave your heads?
Oh, we're just a bunch of crazy kids, Indian pride. Yeah.
Did you stay down there all the weekend, the whole weekend?
No, we went down both games with the buses.
Your parents know that you shaved your heads, correct?
Oh, yeah. Mine don't. Mine's in Pittsburgh.
So he's in for a big surprise.
Yep.
What's this mean to you guys? You're students here at the high school.
I don't know, but it was fun being down there, and it was great, Oh, no.
How many of your fellow students went down with you?
Oh,
almost everybody.
A lot of students.
So I take it you weren't in school Friday, right?
No.
Yeah. So you got an extra bonus.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes, the team's supposed to be on Route 46 and 80. They're getting a little parade through the town. When they arrive, if it's before 7 o'clock, we'll break in here. For the Skinheads, I'm Pat Saunders reporting live from Girard.
Yeah! Okay, Pat, you probably look pretty good with your head shape like that. One state champion down already, and for the Valley, and later tonight, the Campbell Memorial Red.
Next on 21 Action News, the weekend report, basketball fever hits an all-time high as 2 area teams shoot for victories in Columbus. And in the Shenango Valley, steelworkers reach... Definitely a basketball kind of day in the Valley as 2 local teams win state titles. Dana Ballish joins us now for highlights of the Camel and Girard victories. I'm so excited.
We were excited at 6, and now there's double reason to be more excited because these 2 teams that play in the Mahoning Valley Conference both have the colors, red, black, and whites, and they both bring home state championship trophies. It's amazing.
Unbelievable.
It's really amazing. I don't think it's ever happened before where you have 2 teams so close to each other on the same day, within 12 hours, bring home a state championship. But it was definitely a day for wearing the red, white, and black. Camel A winner over Belpre tonight, 47-39. The Red Devils led at half 22-20, and then outscored the Eagles 25-19 and claiming their first ever state title. Camel finishes 21-6. Belpre suffers its second loss of the season. Once again, the Camel Memorial Red Devils over Belpre. There's reason for celebration tonight, 47-39, to claim the Division III state championship. Now, earlier today, also at St. John Arena in Columbus, the Girard Indians became the first Trumbull County basketball team in 11 tries to bring home a state crown. They're a victor today, 64-57 over Columbus Whitehall. Phil Heiler led the Indians with 34 points as the Indians notched their 22nd win of the year. Whitehall, who was ranked 4th in the state, suffered their second loss. The Girard Indians, the Division II state champions. So definitely a great day for the Valley today. 2 teams, not 1, but 2, claim state championships, 2 out of 4, and that's not bad.
That is unbelievable.
It's amazing. It's, like I said, I don't know if it's ever been done before, where you have 2 local teams just like this in the same conference win 2 state championships in one division or the other.
Exciting
So
weekend.
we'll have a full, complete report and everything in sports coming up a little bit later.
All right, we'll hold on for that.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Dana. Well, greeting the team tonight, and that team was Girard. When they got back to Girard, the biggest rally this side of the Rockies. Fans lining the streets, banners all over town, and the mother of all rallies at the high school.
Oh! Yeah! Yeah! Everywhere we go! Everywhere we go! People wanna know! People wanna know! Who we are! Who we are! So we tell them! We are the Indians! We are the Indians! The mighty Indians!
The mighty, mighty Indians, an underdog team that comes back to show the state who's number 1. Not only is this team number 1, but so are the fans.
We got the greatest bunch of young men. And I tell you what, please look in the mirror tomorrow because you people are great. Believe me.
Thousands of fans pack into the auditorium not only to catch a glimpse of the winning team, but also the trophy that's never stood in any Trumbull County high school. So what's the magic that's brought these 12 boys to the forefront? Well, honestly, they say, it's love.
These guys are like my best friends, and I love them very much, and it's just great to be a part of this team.
I just say this is the greatest team I've ever played on because, you know, everyone was so close, especially this kid. We are together. We always say that we are together, and we all love each other, and it's going to be hard not being able to see some of these guys next year.
It's a great feeling. I'm just very proud to be a part of Girard, and the players and the coaches are excellent.
Thank you. So it's dancing in the streets of Girard tonight as this group of guys and these ecstatic fans celebrate the victory that's been a long time in coming.
All right, guys. And once again, congratulations to Girard and Camel High Schools. Unbelievable. And while those teams were battling on the hardwood, steelworkers and
Thousands joining 4 had 2 teams from the same conference won a boys basketball state championship in the same season until today. Girard, Camel, state champs. Highlights coming right at you on Big Board Sports. Next.
it was so exciting. Everyone was just so thrilled. The town everywhere, banners, and the same thing's going to happen in Camel tomorrow.
I was just going to say, wait till tomorrow. We have no details on when Camel's coming home, but I'm sure we'll know tomorrow, and we will have complete coverage of that as well. But let's get to the good stuff. The Camel Memorial Red Devils Championship. The Red Devils going against Belpre at St. John's Arena. Be back sometime tomorrow. We will have complete coverage. Now, just hours earlier, the Girard Indians became the first Trumbull County school to bring home a boys basketball state championship. 21's Mike Ackelson reports.
Chris Kelly hit 2 3-pointers as the senior had 12 points in the contest, and the Indians jump out to an 11-6 lead. Ram Samaki Walker with the follow shot. Whitehall cut the lead to 1. Then Phil Heiler would score the final 2 buckets in the first as the Indians lead by 5, 18-13. In the second, Walker scored 10 of his 16 first-half points. He dominated inside, plus he stepped outside and was hitting the short jumpers. And then the backdoor play to Charles Alston. The Rams outscored Girard in the second, 18-11.
After leading by 5 after the first quarter, Samaki Walker took over in the second, and the Rams lead by 2 at the half. If Girard's going to bring home a state title, they're going to have to find a way to stop the big man.
In the third, Walker picked up his third foul, and he headed to the bench. That's when Rams' Gary Hankins scored 9 of his 15 points, but Tyler scored 8 points in the third quarter. Also, he had the nice assist to Nick DeRamo. The Indians are up 43-39. But a 6-3 run by Whitehall would close the third. Walker with the jam for 2 of his 24 points. After 3, the two teams deadlocked at 46. In the fourth, Walker would hit the turnaround. The Rams are up 4, 54-50. Then after Girard timeout, a 9-0 run. Phil Heiler inside for 2 of his game-high 34 points. Then just a great defensive play by Chris Kelly. Somehow they come up with the steal. Then the Indians would seal their fate with a Brad Root layup. He was wide open for this shot. For the contest, the Indians would shoot 53% from the floor, 68% from the foul line. And as far as Girard's concerned, their state tournament wraps up with a storybook ending as the good luck charm comes through again.
This is what everyone dreams about, is being here. And I mean, I had dreams many nights about this, and this is just the greatest feeling in the world.
The mental maturity was phenomenal. You know, emotionally, the kids never celebrated too much after a big win, and we've had a lot. And they've handled everything as men. And I think that's probably the key. We won with men and not boys.
From Columbus, Mike Ackelson, 21 Action Sports.
And there it is, Girard a winner, 64-57. They claim the Division II state championship, Division II tournament team. He scored 56 points in leading the Indians to their first state championship. Joining him on the first team is Chris Kelly, who totaled 22 points and 11 rebounds. NCAA.
2 minutes left in the third quarter, Girard up 43-39. Back came in Walker with this thunderous dunk. Game tied at 46 after 3. And then 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, again Walker. Points 23 and 24, but they would be his final tallies of the day. Whitehall led 54-50. Heiler would score the next 5 points on his way to a 34-point afternoon. Girard in front to stay 55-54. Solid defense inside for Girard. Nick DeRamo on the steal. Rams forced a foul. Heiler hits 5 of 6 free throws to thwart any comeback of a rally by Whitehall. The Indians win it 64-57 for their first state championship ever, and the tears of joy began to flow. Girard is taking that trophy back to the Mahoning Valley because of their defense. True, Philip Heiler scored 34 points today, but in the second half, Walker only scored 8 after 16 in the opening half, and down the stretch, the Girard defense wins the state title.
Our defense has carried us all season, and he's carried us right to here.
Can you put it in words what it feels like to be a state champion? From 1-3 to walking into St. John Arena?
I can't put a word on it at all. It's just, you just have to do it to, you know, to know what it's like.
That a 6'9" kid will be a Division I ball player, but that never even bothered Kelly. You know, he guarded some of the best people in the state of Ohio.
In Columbus, Bob Hennon, 33, Eyewitness Sports.
So Girard finishes 22-6. They beat a team which was also 25-1. Philip Heiler, the tournament MVP. In the 2 games in the tourney, he had 56 points, 13 rebounds. Joining him on the all-tournament team was Chris Kelly, who did what a great job he did on defense throughout the tournament.
More highlights of Girard's big tournament win and more. Don't go away. Boy, what a night to be proud and happy being from the Valley.
This is definitely championship.
Yes, it is.
Saturday. This is what it's all about. And this may qualify for that, how they do that show.
As we told you earlier, the Valley has not one, but 2 state basketball champions. Title trophies will come back to Girard and Camel after both teams did the whole deal today in Columbus. Early this afternoon, Girard became the first ever Trumbull County team to win a boys' state basketball title. They did it by knocking out Whitehall Yearling in the Division II final.
The Indians hit 3 of their tournament team record 5 3-pointers in the first quarter. This one by Nick DeRamo broke an 11-all tie and boosted Girard to an 18-13 advantage after 1. The Rams went to their big man, 6'9" junior Samaki Walker, repeatedly in the second quarter to butt their way into a couple of 3-point leads. Girard used its defense to reverse that. Philip Heiler converts a turnover into a go-ahead hoop here. It took a bucket by Charles Austin off a nice feed from Gary Hankins to break the last tie of the half and give Whitehall a 31-29 edge.
Indians are only down 2 at the half, even though the stats show that Samaki Walker has 16 points and 9 boards, and Girard has only 4 rebounds as a team. If they can change that just a little bit, they can grab that big trophy in the second half. Let's see how they do.
Girard surged from 4 down while Walker spent about 3 minutes on the bench after picking up his 3rd foul. Chris Kelly cashed in 2 of his 12 in an 8-0 run that produced a lead of 4. Walker returned and made an immediate impact, helping to produce 3 lead changes and 4 ties. When he scored the last of his 24 points, the Rams were up 54-50 with 5:08 left.
We called a timeout, and we came over to the bench, and we just came together there because we were all screaming because we were getting mad that we were getting beat. So we just pulled it together and went out there.
They went out there and blitzed Whitehall 17-3 the rest of the way. Heiler posted 8 in the winning rally, putting the Indians on top by scoring down low and adding a free throw. He piled up 34 points. Girard finished the Rams off with 8 straight charity tosses and some key defense. What made the great stretch run happen?
Well, it's definitely the intensity level. We are very confident. We came together, and the most thing, we are very together. Just don't think that we could beat anybody.
And so, at a few seconds after 12:30, the underdog Indians completed a 64-57 triumph that delivers Trumbull County's first non-girls state basketball championship. The 1993 Division II state champs. In Columbus, I'm Jim Campbell, Newswatch 27 Sports.
Like I was saying earlier, the Indians handed the Rams just their 2nd loss of the year and finished with a 22-6 record. Philip Heiler was named the tournament most valuable player with 56 points, 13 boards, and 6 assists overall. Chris Kelly joined him on that Division II all-tournament team. And then this evening...